Welcome back to another Film Geek Movie Spotlight. Today I'm talking about the 1986 film Slaughter High.
How long has this motley crew been in existence, huh? Can anybody tell me? Come on. What do you have to do to become a member of this elite hit squad? Be tough? Are you tough, Frank?
No, Coach.
No, Coach. Am I tough?
Yep.
Yes?
Yes, Coach.
Yes, Coach. Good.
Slaughter High is directed by George Dugdale and it's starring Carolyn Monroe as a 37-year-old, 17-year-old, and then a 27-year-old, 37-year-old. Yeah, because she was 37 at the making of this film. I think they were just trying to get some kind of star power for this movie. I'm not really quite sure where they were like, hey, let's call up Carolyn Monroe, because no one looks more like a 17-year-old than someone who's older than two 17-year-olds. A group of high school friends play an April Fool's Day joke on the high school nerd, and, well, let's just say it doesn't go well and that high school nerd is permanently disfigured. Fast forward 10 years later, this group of friends is invited to a mysterious high school reunion at an abandoned high school. Slaughter High takes place at a school in the United States. However, the film was filmed in England, and also it originally was called April Fool's Day. Unfortunately, the filmmakers found out later that there was another film being released by Paramount called April Fool's Day before the release of their film. So at the last second, they had to rush and change the title of the movie, and they went with Slaughter High. This is extremely apparent with the theme song that is played throughout the entire movie over and over and over again, because it mentions April Fool's Day over and over again, and believe me, you're going to hear that theme song a lot. Slaughter High was given a limited theatrical release in 1986, and slowly but surely the number of theaters grew until spring of 1987 when the film was finally taken out of theaters around April something or other. The actual financials on this film were kind of hard to find. It seems that it only grossed about $90,000 on a 2.1 estimated budget, and the film also has a very score on Rotten Tomatoes of a very big fat 0. Okay guys, hear me out. This is not a perfect film by any means whatsoever, and you're going to have to suspend some serious disbelief in this movie because not just our lead actress in this film looks like she's the oldest woman known to mankind. Every single one of these actors do not look the appropriate age they're supposed to be playing. I mean, even when they get to the 10-year high school reunion, they all look old as shit. Also, too, the acting in this movie is not the best. This is really... I wouldn't say it is a so bad it's good movie, because this is a solid film. It's a lot of fun, and I'm getting to that. But trust me, the acting does make this movie just a little hard to watch. The special effects in this movie, some have aged gracefully while others look god-awful. There's one in particular in this movie that really I think you might get a little bit of a laugh out of. It's like a claymation kind of stop animation thing, and it's for the time period, I'm sure it was A-okay, but by today's standards, it looks pretty ugly. Also, there are very many different formats of this film. I know that it's streaming right now on Tubi, and you can also find it on DVD, and there is a Blu-ray special edition out there. Here's my advice. Watch this movie grainy, because it does make the special effects better. This film was not one of those movies that were made with HD in mind. So yes, the shadows and the darkness of this film are there for a reason, and believe me guys, this movie is dark. That is, by the looks of things when you watch the Blu-ray of this film, by design. Now okay, it seems that I'm just beating this movie to shit right now, because I'm just talking about the bad side, but believe me guys, that's just to prepare you for what's to come next. This movie is fun. Super duper fun with a capital F. This is not a slasher to be taken seriously. It's not necessarily a slasher comedy, and it's not necessarily a so bad it's good movie. This was an attempt to make a serious slasher film, and I mean, depending upon how you feel about your serious slasher films, it does a great job. Some of the standout things in this film that make me absolutely love this movie is the kills. The kills in this film are outstanding. They're some of the best one-and-done slasher film kills I have ever seen. A lot of thought and imagination went into making some of the practical effects in this movie. There's one scene in particular, there's a gut explosion that looks pretty freaking vicious. There's also a acid melting scene. Yes, the killer in this film has a background in chemistry, which I'm getting to the killer here, just give me a moment. And so there is a person who literally gets melted to death in a pool of acid. So that brings me to the killer of this film. He's one of my favorite one and done killers in a slasher film ever, because he really fills in that picked on nerd trope quite well, and they use it for the character. He does somehow another gain superhuman strength in this movie, but all of that aside, he also has brains. He's a smart fella, and he uses his environment to set traps and to get these people set up so he can thin the numbers without actually having to take each one of them on in a physical way. So the killer in this film is great, and his look is also really unique. Earlier in the film, they have this whole scene where he's being tortured by the bullies, and one of the bullies is wearing this jester mask, and so later when he's hunting each one of them down, he's wearing that mask and a leather jacket from their high school. And I don't know why I feel like that gives it the extra edge, but for some reason it really makes the killer in this film just a little bit more horrifying. Well, guys, that's all I really have for you. Don't pay attention to the 0% Rotten Tomatoes score on this one. This is a film that if you enjoy the horror genre, and especially if you enjoy slashers, you're going to find something that you like out of this movie. And if you like movies that are just kind of borderline so bad they're good, then you're going to probably like this movie also. And if you want to check this film out, well, good news, people, because you can find it out there right now streaming on Tubi TV, free with commercials. Well, okay, guys, that's all I have for you today. Thanks again for checking out the Film Geek. If you liked what you saw here today, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, ring that bell for notifications, and give me the old thumbs up so I know you like what you're seeing. And if there's one more thing you can do, folks, that is keep watching movies. You know I'm gonna.